Okay.
Good morning. I would like to introduce Reginald Tarr. He works for LSS, which is Lutheran Social Services, and he will be speaking to you today about refugees and immigrants and kind of debunking some of the myths that you might be hearing in the news and social media.
Okay. Thank you. My name is Reginald Tarr, and I work for Lutheran Social Services. I am the coordinator for refugee resettlement in Grand Forks. So today I will just be giving you a brief overview of the refugee program. I know you always heard about refugees, maybe at home, on the news or somewhere else, or you have friends that are refugees and all that, and you have questions. So today will be like a discussion. I would like you to ask me the questions, or we can have the discussion together. So please feel free to step in at any time to ask a question. And if we have enough time, I know this period is very short, but if we have time, I will tell you my personal story too. So then I'll be speaking very fast because of the time. Lutheran Social Services has so many programs, but today I'll be telling you about the New American program. We resettle people, especially people who are granted asylum. We help them. We work with SIVs, the Special Immigrant Visa, that are given to those that help the U.S. military in Afghanistan or Iraq or wherever place we have our military. They help the military to navigate, to translate, to interpret, and all that. Like the person you see right there, helping the U.S. military. And we found out that after the military, is out of that place, these people are no longer safe to be there. So then they seek refuge in the U.S. So we resettle them. Then a refugee. A refugee is anyone who fled his or her country based on well-founded fear of persecution and fled to another country to seek refuge. So it could be based on their race, their religion, their membership in a particular group. It could be for so many reasons that the person fled to another country to seek refuge. So a refugee is not like, maybe someone was just born a refugee and say, oh, this person is a refugee or born a refugee. No, it's something that happened. For example, we are all here. If something happens right now in Grand Forks and we all fled across the border, maybe we're running for safety and we went to Canada. As you cross the border, you'll be called refugees. You'll not be called Central High Schoolers. You'll be called refugees. So a refugee is just like that. Because you are seeking refuge in Canada, you'll be called refugees. So people who seeking refuge and went to another country. So it could be a lawyer, it could be a doctor, it could be a farmer, it could be someone from the village, it could be anybody.
Can I jump in quickly?
Yes.
Good example of Grand Forks. You guys aren't old enough, but your parents, they were going to remember. In 1997, when the flood hit Grand Forks, we had to leave, and we were gone for about a month. For that period of time, we were called flood refugees. Small towns around the area took us in, fed us, housed us, because we didn't have that. So at any moment, it doesn't have to be a civil war or anything. It could be, natural weather events, whatever. We've been in the city for a short period of time. We've been refugees.
Yes. So a lot of things that will happen that will make people refugees. Like the picture I'm showing you right now, you see this building is all broken because of bombing and everything. So sometimes it will be a civil war. And nobody wants to live in an era like this when something like that going on. You want to get out with your family. So that's why people will get out and they'll go to another country to seek refuge. Like you've been hearing the news, Syria and all that. Those are the things that are going on there, and they will flee to different countries. So you find them going to Germany and other countries to seek refuge. There's another picture of people fleeing overcrowded boat. If something happens right now, we're all getting out. Even if it's a little car, 10 people can get in there, we're getting it to get out, right? Because we want to get out of this place. Something happening, it's terrible. You don't want to die, right? So, these people are going to seeking refuge. So refugees in Grand Forks. There are a lot of refugees from different countries, but in Grand Forks, the people that we are resettling, they are coming from Somalia. So you see the one with the red thing red around it, that's Somalia right there. They're coming from Somalia. So when a refugee flees to another country, if we fled to Canada, the first thing that will happen, there will be an organization called UN, United Nations, and a branch called ACR, United Nations High Commissioner for Refugees, UNHCR, will come to help us because we'll be hungry, we need food, we need help, right? So they will come and give us the tents to be on because in Canada we don't have homes there. We have our homes here in Grand Forks, but now we fled there. So they'll give us the tents to be in, they'll give us food ration for us to be able to eat and all that. It will be a temporary solution. So that's what they will do for refugees. A lot of refugees are coming from Bhutan as well. Bhutan is a small country just right between India and China. So they fled to Nepal and now they have been resettled in the United States, Grand Forks. So I just wanted to show you some pictures. Quickly, let me just tell you about how the refugee process works. So to be a refugee, as I said, we fled to Canada and we're seeking refuge there, right? So what happens is that we will get a food ration, we get the tents and all that. But the goal of United Nations, the first goal, they have 3 goals. The first one is repatriation, is to get people back home, to repatriate them, to take them back to their homeland. Because everybody wants to be home. It doesn't matter where you come from. Whether you're from a small town or from a big city or whatever place, home is home. And we know these people wanted to be in their homes, right? It was because of the crisis that they fled to another country. So the goal of the United Nations is not that, well, say you are a refugee, you're going to another country. It doesn't work that way. The goal is to keep the people there temporarily until they can go back to their homeland. But sometimes the first goal is very hard to work because the civil war is still going on and people cannot be repatriated or repatriated, whatever way you pronounce it. They cannot be taken back home at that time. So then they will move to their second goal, which is local integration. So now these people fled to Canada or to Mexico and they are here. And the thing is still, the flood or whatever is still going on there. Now they can go back home, which is our first goal. Then move to the second one and see whether they can integrate. It means that whether they can get jobs, their children can go to school and all that, because they are here temporarily. And we found out that all these people that fled will not be able to integrate over there. The country we fled to might not be able to get every one of us work permits and the children go to school. So then, United Nations will move to the third goal and say since they can't go back home right now, and all of them cannot integrate, the third goal is to look for countries that will help with the crisis. So which country would be able to help? So we can take some of the people and they go there, so they can rebuild their life. Because first it was a temporary solution, right? For example, the Bhutanese people you see here, they've been out of their country, they fled to Nepal long time, since 91, and they've been there for over 20 years. The United Nations goal was to help them get back home. But since it was not a durable solution at that time, now they moved to say, well, they refer them to other countries because they can be in this refugee camp for 20 years. So let's find countries that will help. So countries that will help with refugee resettlement, and it's called third country resettlement because the country they fled from, then they went to another country, which is the second country, now the third country. They're finding a third country for them. So countries that will help would be United States, Australia, Canada, and other European countries. They will say, well, we can help with the crisis, we can take in people. So only 1% of the world refugees there will be resettled. The camps are still there, other people stay there, but they reduce the number, they refer. UN will refer them to other countries. And the countries that will take in, as I said, the United States will say, well, we can take in this amount. And the number is set by Congress and the president. The president will make the PD, which is the presidential determination, and say, well, this year we're taking this amount. Years ago, it was 110,000. But then later on, when the new administration came and everything, they reduced the number to 50,000. So we are 50,000 refugees. So these people will be processed. When United States accepting people, they go through the screening process, extensive screening process. They get interviewed, they bring the family and interview them, ask them about the war, whether they were not involved in the war, because you can be involved, you cause the crisis, then you want to be resettled. So the United States will do the interviewing and take a very long time. It's a very long process. Some people stay in it 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years before they can even be resettled. It's a long time because they have to do all the background checks. And after that, when you pass, because they'll give you the letter whether you will pass the interview or you fail the interview. Then when you pass the interview, you need to do medical screening. So we've been hearing that refugees are coming with communicable diseases, right? It's not true, because the people go through screening, medical screening, and it's done by certified U.S. physicians, U.S. doctors overseas that are certified by the government. They're the one who do the screening. So if somebody has anything that is communicable, they are not allowed to travel until it can be cured. They can't travel to the US because they don't want the person traveling with that communicable disease. And also, they do cultural orientation for them. Just telling them a little bit about the US and how things are. Then when they come here, our agency, we have a contract with the federal government, and we help the refugees to resettle in Grand Forks.
Can I ask that question?
Yeah. Yeah.
Some sources would say refugees coming to this country, some of them might be linked to terrorist activities. You hear this sometimes. I asked you before, what do you think the chances are that anybody going through the process is associated with terrorism?
Well, I think for me it would be 0.00% because being a refugee doesn't guarantee you coming to the US. Not because you're a refugee means you coming to the US. The UN goal that I talk about, the first goal is to help you get back home. So that's why the Bhutanese people were in our refugee camp for 20 years. The solution, the 20 years, UN found out that they couldn't find a durable solution. And said, well, then let's refer them. So being a refugee, if you wanted to be a terrorist, as you asked, and you say you come here as a refugee, there's no guarantee that you even leave the refugee camp. Because UN will refer certain people. And if you are even referred, you don't know whether it will be the United States or Canada or any European country. And if you come into the United States, you have to be interviewed and they'll do your background check and everything. And even the background check is done, you come into the US, you don't even know which state you go into first. So there's no choice in there, you can choose. You don't even know. So to say, well, I'll be a refugee, maybe, there's nothing 100% guaranteed, but the chances, it's just 0.0% because you don't know. And there are people who want to build and they want to really build their lives. And UN will refer people that they think, yes, these people and this family need to be resettled. And a lot of people stay in the camps. Those camps are still there. So here in Grand Forks, what we will do for them, I'll be notified a few weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks ahead, our refugee family is coming. Then we try to find an apartment and notify our community partners, like the hospital, the schools, and all that, to make them get them registered, get social security, and all those little things for them. I know you asked me where they get the money from to pay for the apartment, so I can talk about it later. When the refugees, when they come to Grand Forks, our agency, we are given the permission to spend $925 one-time grant that comes from the government. We spend $925 on behalf of the refugee. It's not given to them. It's $925 per person. So if a family or two, they will get $925 times 2. But it's one-time grant. One time. It's not every month. Just that one time to help pay for the apartment and all that. So reselling one person have been very difficult. If you get $925 and I have to pay application fees and security deposit, there's nothing left for rent already. And it's one-time grant. So I think reselling one person is difficult. If it's a family of 2 or 3, at least they get a $925 times 3, then you can pay application fees and all those things. So one person will always try to find a roommate for the person. That's why we get a lot of donations around to furnish the apartment. And apart from the $925, each refugee, if you're just one person, you will receive $335, which is the refugee cash assistance. And it goes up to 8 months. The 8 months is that you can get it up to 8 months. But when you are employed, if the person gets employed today and they are making more than that, it stops right there. So some refugees will only get it for 2 months or 3 months. And our goal here is to work with them within 3 months that they have jobs. So while they are overseas, if we know they are coming, we start to find jobs. We are in contact with a lot of employers, and then they're looking for workers. So some people don't even stay on the cash. And we know that nobody can live on $335 because it's not even able to pay your rent. You can't even pay the electricity. How will you live on $335? If you work on a minimum wage job, which is $725, you make almost 4 times that money. So why not go to work? So our refugees, and Grand Forks is a cold place. When they come, they all want to buy cars and things. The new cars you see them driving, they have to work 2-3 jobs to be able to buy those cars. So they would be able to take care of their family. So that's the only money that goes into refugee resettlement. The one-time grant and $335 if you are one person. If it's a family of 2, they get $450. It's not each person, but the two of you get $450 for the whole month. So on $570 for family of 3 and that. And talking about it, refugees are not just starting from zero, but they are starting from negative because they have to pay back the flight ticket. You know that they put them on a flight to come to Grand Forks, so they have to pay back that money. And we know international flights are expensive, right? $1,500. So if you have a family of 3 or 4, you owe $1,500 times 4, and you have to pay just like the student loan. After 6 months of employment, you start to receive the bill. We work with them and they pay back the loan completely. They have to pay back that money. So they are not even starting from zero, but from negative because they come to the country owing money already. Yes.
What happens if you don't pay the money?
Oh, you don't pay the money, you get a bad credit score. It go on your credit record. The credit, so you will have a bad credit. And we work with you, you know that you sign promissory note, you agree that you're going to pay back the money. So the agency here will work with you and make sure that you can pay. If you are not able to pay the minimum amount, they can negotiate with you, they can settle an amount that you're able to pay. But the refugees have to pay back that money. So just think about people coming with zero income, owing money, then after one or few years, and they buy homes and own cars and all that. So you see how much they work. So here in Grand Forks, we set a capacity of people we can hold. Not because we are a refugee resettlement agency means that the government can send as many people they want to send. It doesn't work that way. We set a capacity, we do an abstract and say, this is the amount of people we can hold, our office can hold. So in Grand Forks, for past years, it had been 100. You see the number, sometimes we don't make the 100. There were years that we had to go over because there were more people that time, and then we have to go and do a new abstract. So we'll be able to accommodate the people that were coming. But you see the number drop all the way to 50. So just take, for example, 100, we were doing 100 before. If you divide the 100 by the 12 months in a year, how many people you have coming? For those of you who know math. 100 divided by 12 months in a year. Wow. 8, right? 8 point something. 8 people coming to Grand Forks every month. And now that last year we resettled 50 and 51 people. If you divide by the 12 months in a year, you're talking about 4 people coming to Grand Forks every month. So that's the amount of refugees that we resettle in Grand Forks. I'm just telling you because I know out there on the news and everything, it will be something different when people say that. So refugees not only come, to our city to take away or anything, but they come with a lot of contributions. They improve the economy. You see, they are workers. Every time we want workers, our governors or senators, up there, they want workers in their state. But anyway, that one is politics. They won't tell you about that. But they ask that they want more people to come because it builds up the economy. You see, refugees are workers. They start businesses in Grand Forks. And Fargo or wherever place you find refugees, they open their own businesses. They employ people. You find they are taxpayers. They buy homes. I was just checking, by looking at data and looking at my refugees that we resettled 2008 to 2018, 10 years, right? 2008, 2018. And I was counting the amount of homes they bought in Grand Forks, and we have counted over 30 homes. If we continue on the list to count, we will reach up to 50 or even more than that. Just imagine people just come in 10 years, coming to this country owing money already, starting from negative, and within some of them been here 7 years, they bought home and all that. So within a short amount of time that they can work 2, 3, 4 jobs to be able to buy a home. You see the amount of progress. And those homes who are been on the market, if these people are not bought them in the market, the economy will not go the way it's going in Grand Forks. So they pay taxes, they are homeowner and all that. They are educated people. Some people come from villages and towns, but some people are educated. As I said before, a refugee can be a doctor, it can be a lawyer, it can be a teacher, anyone. But the only thing is that they fled to another country to seek refuge. That's all. So it doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that they don't know anything. I think I told the first class here before you that one time we resettled a dentist here in Grand Forks. He had his own clinic in his country. He had workers, everything. When he came to Grand Forks as a refugee, he can practice as a dentist. The only job we could find him that time was dishwashing job. See how frustrating it is because he had to learn. It doesn't mean that he can't read and write. but not English, right? All of you here can read, write, and speak English well. But if you find yourself in China, for example, today, let's just imagine we're in China. Can you read Chinese? Can you speak Chinese? You can't read, you can't speak, you can't write Chinese. And you have to learn over. It's just like you'll be starting everything over, right? So that's how it is for all of people that come to this as refugees. So refugees bring a lot of things to our community, new languages, traditions, and tastes, and all that. And I think their teachers will tell you about on the 15th, there's something going on here, so you can come and enjoy it. So refugees also have challenges when they come. A lot of challenges. The one we see is just the one at the top, right? On top of the water. But underneath, those are other things that they have to go through. So we need to make this place a welcoming community or welcoming school for everybody that will come. Because the refugees, every day they got things hitting at them. Challenges, because if you are new in a place, you're learning the language, the food, the culture, and all those things. You still need to do the same homework all of you doing, and all that, So there are a lot of things they go through, and moreover, some of them lost relatives and uncles and people they've been missing, back home, and all. So there are a lot of things going on in a refugee life. Do you guys know this guy? Yeah. Smart, right? But he was a refugee too. So refugee comes with a lot of different things. I would like you to ask questions before I continue, doing my presentation. I can tell you a little bit about my story myself because I think we have a few minutes. But any question about refugee resettlement? Things you heard or maybe you want to know about? They told me you guys have a lot of questions, so yes.
Do you have more kids or adults as refugees?
Oh, more kids or adults as refugees?
Yeah.
I need to go and look at the data, but most of the time the refugees, will come, some of them will come with one parent, maybe the other parent died or something happened, or some of them will come with their, a family intact. We also have a program that brings just children, no parent, because during the Civil War, we don't know where their parent went, and they have to be resettled. So we have the program too. It's called, unaccompanied minor program. Is in Fargo. We look for foster home for them, foster parents. So there are a lot of people who have on our waiting list that want to take children like that, and they come. They live in our communities here. Questions about refugee resettlement? Yes.
What was your first job as a refugee?
Oh, for me, my first job, I work at the Wood Product. It's in the industrial park. In Grand Forks here, that's where I work. But before coming to the U.S., I worked overseas. I used to work overseas. I worked for some of the NGOs, like Save the Children and Caritas. I taught rural building construction because I started building construction and other ones before coming. But when I came here, I can't do the job that I used to do back home. I have to start everything. So I worked in a wool factory for about almost, I think, 9 years or something while I was in school at UND. I went to UND and got a social work degree to work here at Lutheran Social Services. So yeah, let me just quickly tell you my story. I came from Liberia, a small country in West Africa. I used to live in Liberia. I was born there. I was just your age, or maybe a little bit older than you, thinking about which college to go to. And all of a sudden, I had those same dreams that you have. You have now. I had those dreams, and all of a sudden, a civil war broke up in Liberia, and I fled from Liberia. As a teenager, I was 17 years old, and I fled. Just imagine being 17 years old, finding yourself in China. It's the country I went to, there was a whole new language, new culture, everything was different. And I had to learn to live there, learn the language and everything. And I thought that it was going to be for 1 day or 2 days. When something happens here, some of you want to come back the next day to tell your friends a fun story and where your parents went and what happened, right? But I never had a chance to say that. I thought I was going to go back the next day. I ended up, when the place I fled, I ended up staying there for 13 years. 13 good years I stayed there because the war continued in our country. I couldn't go back. And while I was there, I had to learn the language and go to school and all that, and be able to get a job and work. And that's what I was doing before another civil war broke up in our country that I was in before I came to the U.S. again. Coming to the U.S. because of time, maybe let me just go quick. I don't know how much time I have still.
Like 15 minutes.
15 minutes, okay. So let me just tell you some adjustments I have to make. When I came to Grand Forks, the first thing I came from Africa, right? Very warm, one place, hot. It's just like summer all the time. Came to Grand Forks in September, it was already too cold for me. Really, really cold for me. So when new people come, they have to adjust to the weather and everything. There are a lot of things going on, but the weather is one. There was one time my son went to school, he was in the elementary school. He went to school and came back, he said, Dad, the teacher did not allow me to go out for recess today. I said, why? He said, the teacher said it was so cold and my friends were playing in the snow and they didn't allow me to go out to play. I said, why? He said, the teacher said I never had snow pants. I said, snow pants? Do they have special pants for snow? Because I was still new, I didn't know about snow. So he said, yes, Dad, my friends, most of them. I said, how the pants look? He said, it will be black because most of them are wearing black. I said, okay, wear your black pants to school tomorrow. He said, no. So then he kept saying it was not the snow pants. So I called the case manager, she came and she took me, we went and bought the snow pants. That's how I knew that they have special pants for snow. So that's the adjustment that a lot of people will have to make when they come from different countries with the weather. Another thing, another adjustment, my son came from school again. Because in the school you guys eat different food, right? At home we cook something different, African food. Now he came home and didn't want to eat. I said, what will you eat? He said, well, you know what? I'm used to eating something different in the school now, so take me somewhere else to eat. I said, what will you eat? He said, well, let's go to McDonald's. I said, McDonald's? I haven't been to McDonald's before. So anyway, since that way you want to eat, let's go. I took him to McDonald's. Guess what? When I went to the counter, I stood there. I looked at the menu, I looked. I'm not used to that food, right? So I don't even know what to order. I was just standing, looking. By the time I looked behind me, the line was so long, I've been holding the line. All of people were impatient now, right? Then who's the guy just standing there? So my son was embarrassed and said, Dad, just go by the numbers. And I said, okay, I want number 1. Since then, I always go with number 1. That's my favorite. When I get to McDonald's, I order number 1, I'm out of the way. So I'm just telling you this because there are a lot of things people have to adjust to when they come to food. You see some of your friends in the dining room, when they come new, they don't even want to eat the food because it smells different. To you it tastes good, it smells good, everything, but to them it's something new, it takes time. If you were in China today and you go all of food, you don't even know what's on the menu, right? And again, if you even sometimes it might not smell good to you or taste good, it takes time before you start to adjust. But some of you can help your friends and say, hey, try this one, maybe you like this one and all that. And the third one I will tell you because of time, when I came, I had a lot of friends back home where I came from before I moved here to the US. Now I came, I never had a friend here, I never had friends. So there was one time I wanted to go to the store to buy something because I was very new here and it was cold. That time I had not bought a car yet. So I said, well, I have to make friends today. So I went in front of the entryway of the apartment building I used to live in then. And I stood there and said, well, I will just say hi to people. Maybe I'll make one friend today. So I started saying hi. By the time I say hi to some people, they don't even look at my face. When I say hi, they're gone. Hi, they're gone. I would just say hi to people. Until one guy, he came, I said hi to him, and he stopped. He said hi to me. He asked me for my name, and we started talking. And I told him I wanted to go out, so he goes to buy food. And he said, oh, really? I didn't know that. I live in this building, and I go to UND. So let's go. We got in his car. We came back. He said, I'm a UND student. Here's my number. Call me Saturday and Sunday because Monday through Friday I'm in school and I'm busy, so you can call me that time. We became friends. I'm telling you that 15 years ago, but we are still friends. So what I'm telling you is that there are little things you can do for other people that move to your community or to your school to make them feel welcome. Little things you're able to do, just smiling at them or asking for their name or inviting them. Some of you play sports, you are involved in extracurricular activity, right? You play different sports and hockey or soccer or football. You can invite your friends, say, come and join the team, because that's the best way to be able to integrate. They are not able to do it by themselves because they feel ashamed and say, well, maybe people might not welcome me when I go on that team. But if you invite them and say, come along, even if the person can't get right, say, I'll talk to my parents, come, you can ride with us. And make your friend feel welcome and take them to that sport or that game or something and feel. Because if it were you want someone to do the same thing to you, right? Yeah. Okay, let's take for example. If we all use the same channel, let's just imagine we're in China right now, right? We're all in China. What would you like other people to do for you? if you were in China right now? What would you like people to do for you? To help you adjust because you're in a new country.
Well, I was thinking like if I were in China, I would need someone to help me figure out where things are.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be used to
Yes. Figure out where things are, where to go, where the playgrounds or the movie theaters or something. The same fun they are having at least, so you can just be sitting, right? Yes. What other things you would like people to do to help you?
The Chinese language is so kind of
Okay.
complicated, so
Yeah.
I need someone to translate for me.
Okay. Help you speak the Chinese, and it takes time, right, to learn a new language. People come in, refugees and immigrants, they know other languages already, but they don't know the English, right? It doesn't mean they can't read and write in their language, but well, that English. So you need someone to help you with the Chinese and all that. If you practice your late Chinese, if you say it to someone, you want someone to listen to you, right? You don't want someone shutting you down. So sometimes somebody will say something in English and you don't understand, they say, can you say it again? Or can you say it slowly? And you help them. Because let me ask you, do you know that you have an accent?
Yeah.
Eh? From accent? Yeah. Yeah. Because to me, you know that I have an accent, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So to me too, you have an accent. It's not a one-way street.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to tell you here is that if you are not understanding someone, you should know that the person is not understanding you too as well. So don't say, well, I'm talking to the person, I don't understand, and they say, I don't understand their English. They are not even understanding you too. So you guys need to work it out together. Take your time, to know the person, and you will help them learn the language and learn the culture. So what are other things here you would like people to help you with if you are in a new school in China? Right now we are in China, right? So what would you like people to help you with? What are other things if you are in China? Yes.
Well, if I was in a school in China, I'd ask someone to help me to figure out which classrooms I need to go to.
Yes, because even this building, for me right now, I don't know, I'll get lost in this building. It's so big for me. So think about, maybe in China, I will need someone, maybe a friend, to say, oh, no, come, let's go. And be respectful, right? To be respectful, you don't want a person just talking over you or doing it with respect. Yes. What are other things? Yes? Yeah, what the bathrooms are and all that. Yes?
where like you can shop at, like food and stuff. You might want to learn that.
There are a lot of things, you see, that we need to learn, and we need other people to help us, because I don't think you can do it in China all by yourself, right? So it takes time. Even the food, the culture, the way you see things, will be completely different. You need people to help you. Even cross the street, read the signs, and all those things. Right? So it's not only someone, not only a refugee, as I said, it could be someone from different place, from California, from New York, from Chicago, from Los Angeles. They move here, they need your help. We want to make this school a welcoming school for everybody, because if it were you, you would want someone to do the same thing for you, right? So what are other things or questions you have about refugee resettlement? Yes?
Okay, so recently you were from Nigeria, right?
Yes.
Wasn't it war like in 1985 that had with this chief who who was like at the border, and he had like some of his rebels to come and stay the area?
Yes.
Because my parents are from Nigeria.
Oh, okay. Yes. So yeah, the civil war started, and well, it was not the fault of other people. Like what going on in Syria, some people don't even know anything about it, living their normal lives. But then, because of the civil war, they had to flee, and they live here. Some people start in the conflict. It's just like maybe Democrat and Republican or something, and they clashing, and other people you have to leave the place. Yeah. So and as she said, there are other people. They don't even know the country that they haven't been to the country their parents came from, right? Because they were born in another country. So sometimes we look at someone and say, hey, go back to your homeland or that. The person, America is the country because they were born here. Some of you were not born in Grand Forks, but now when they want to take you from Grand Forks, you don't want to leave because you're so used to Grand Forks now, you take Grand Forks to be your home, right? The same way. So people move here. Sometimes when they want to take you to where you were born right now, the city you were born in, you don't want to go back to that city. You want to be in Grand Forks, that way you have your friends, that way you want to live, right? So the same. So it would be rude or mean for us to tell someone, say, go back to your homeland. So what are other things that you want to know about refugee resettlement, or what would you like someone to do for you if you were in a situation? Yes.
Maybe like show me the like different kind of foods.
Yeah. Different kind of food. Try this one. Oh, you don't like that one? Try this one. Like for me, pizza. The first time I tasted pizza, I said, well, the first one was not good to me. It is so bad to me. I don't know which kind it was, but I didn't like it. So I didn't want to eat pizza anymore, but I forgot. I didn't even know they had different kinds. You know, later on I knew that they had different kinds. Now I enjoy it. I know which one I can order now, right? But so before I didn't know. So it will be the same. You will try, your friend can try the food and the person doesn't like. You can tell them, oh, there are other kinds, you know. So they can't just generalize and think that all the pizza are bad or does, you know, not taste good. So yeah, what are other things? I want you guys to have a conversation with me. I don't want to be the one talking at you, because I know you have a lot of questions, there are a lot of things you want to know about refugee. Yeah.
I would want somebody, if I were new to someplace, not just to be a friend of me, but ask me about where I'm from and about my background. And I'm putting in a plug for Cultural Night, November 15th. You can see a lot of different cultures, different foods. It's at Red River High School, November 15th. It's an opportunity for you to learn about different cultures. But it's not just being a friend, but it's asking somebody, well, tell me about you, tell me about your background.
And the person wants to know about you too, or maybe if you guys can be friends and start a conversation, yes, they want to know a lot of things about your culture. So it's not like, you know, so it's not a one-way street, as I said. Sometimes you feel, you know, you don't want to approach the person doesn't want to approach you. It's just the same. So one person has to just step out. You know, since they are new, it's better for you to step out and say, my name is John, and I want to be your friend. And I mean, you guys just be friends. Every time you see the person, you don't have to agree on everything, right? Because their culture is different, your culture is different. I know you have friends now that you don't agree with. Every time you meet, you have to fuss about things. But they are still your friends, right? That's why I make friendship. So the same way, there will be some things, maybe their culture, they don't shake hands with male, or the female don't shake hands with male and all that. You accept it the same way. So it takes time for the person to, you know, get into the American culture. I know when you go to China, you want to add the Chinese, right? But it takes time. Because you're already an American, you'll start taking all your heart, your things little by little until you can become a Chinese person, right? So it takes time. So we need to give people the time and space. They say, oh, we don't speak that language here. This country is one language. We understand. But as I said, as you know, us right now in China, can we just speak, Chinese right away? Automatically? It's not realistic. You know, we know that it will take us time. So the same way, we need to give people time to be able to adjust. I know we almost out of time.
Yep.
Okay, 2 more minutes.
One more question.
One more question before we leave. Feel free. Any question is good. You know. Yes.
What type of language is?
Oh, I speak, right now I speak 4 languages. Every day I speak 3 in Grand Forks. Every day I speak 3. English, French, and another language called Kran. Those are the ones I speak every day here. Because when I speak to my father, I speak Kran. When I speak to my wife and I don't want our children to hear our conversation, we talk in French. Or I'm talking to my sister, then I speak English again. So every day, those are the 3 languages I use every day. What I speak, yeah.
My parents, my mom was speaking my main one, and they were speaking 5.
Yeah, so yeah, Liberia has 16 different languages plus English, 17. So people speak a lot of languages in Liberia. So your mom will come from another tribe, your dad from another tribe, that's why they speak different languages. And sometimes some of our while growing up will have to learn all of them because you have to talk to uncles and aunts on the other side. Yeah, so that's why people will speak multiple languages. Okay, if there's no other question, then I want to thank you so much for having me. Thank you.